record straight. You and me, we ain't nothing alike. Let's set the record straight. Those words you say, they hold no weight, they like. Let's set the record straight. You'll never break the...
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Diecast review, a custom Diecast review actually. This is Noah Gragson / Alex Bowman, whatever you want to call it, the Las Vegas paint scheme. It was ran in the playoffs, and that's actually the reason why the car don't have a front banner, because the decal set came with a playoff banner, but at this point in time, the 48 car was out of the playoffs. So I did not use, obviously the incorrect banner, because I don't want it to be inaccurate. This was Bowman's car, but obviously he had that little situation back in 2022 to where he could not race a car due to concussion-like symptoms. So Gragson took over, and he was driving this car. Even though the name banners say Bowman, and the name rail says Bowman, obviously he was not piloting the car, so it's still, Bowman's scheme, but, Gragson's result, I guess. I actually got these this decal set, I only got one of them, from my buddy Diecastbuffet, because I guess I'm too brain dead in order to operate Pato's place decals, whatever. I can't figure out how to use it. I don't know why, but I can't, so I just normally buy them off of him, and this was one of the decal sets I got recently. Well, I got a little bit ago, but I just actually finished this custom recently, and yeah, I actually had the name banner on the front. I did replace it, but it got wet, and it kind of got, ruined, so I had to take it off, and I'll put a new one on later on. Now, a lot of you have been asking if this car will be sold on eBay, and as of right now, no, I have no plans for it. This will be for my personal collection. The only reason I would put this specific car up is if I get a Gold Series Bowman car, redo the decals for, that car, and end up using, like, the actual Gold Series banners, but I don't think I'll put that much effort, because that's just a lot of extra work that's kind of unnecessary. So I definitely don't think I'm going to be remaking this car. If anything, if I really wanted to have the Gold Series banners, all I would have to do is just drill out the car again, replace the windshields, and call it a day. So it is very unlikely that I will ever sell this car. So I apologize about that. I only bought one decal set, and it was just for my collection. Because I absolutely love this car, and I had to have it. I knew it wasn't going to get made, but I think they still offered it, but I don't think it's going to get made. But either way, I was like, you know what? I'll make one for myself, and this one is definitely going to stay in the collection. I debated on making a 124. I know that one would be actually pretty killer to have. But yeah, I love this paint scheme. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's all around, but it's a very nice car. I like the pink, the black, the white. I like all of it. It does look very, very good. I did have to... I don't know why I had to replace my rear banner for Bowman, and I'm not sure why, because it came with the rear banner, but I don't know why I had to replace it. Either way, I do think this car is really nice, and again, I like how it turned out. I like how the paint scheme turned out. So I was like, you know what, I gotta have one for my collection, because, I mean, I can't pass it up. It was too cool of a car, and too easy of a build for me not to make. On to this custom diecast here on the hood. Of course, we have the Ally there with the bats all over the front. I do like how some are pink and some are white. It makes me really want Halloween to be here, like, way faster than, it is going to be. Because, I mean, I love Halloween. I do. It's probably my favorite holiday. But, yeah, so this is the paint scheme that's just covered in bats. I don't really know what they technically called it. I'm just going to call it the Halloween scheme because, I mean... I don't know. Like, I mean, it was ran at Las Vegas. It had all the bats on it. I mean, I guess that's all I could really call it. And then there's no name banner on the front windshield. There was supposed to be, but it was the wrong one. And I put one on there, got wet because it was paper. Had to take it off, and I'm going to put another one on. So don't worry about that. Got the 48 on the roof. I love the pink outline. It looks really, really cool. I like how thin the outline is, too. It's not super bulky, but it's not too thin either. You got all the bats in the background. Ally do it right there. It's kind of hard to see because it's mixed in with the bats, but it is there. Got the Bowman nameplate that I printed out, which isn't the best, but, I mean, it's there. I guess it's all that counts. We do have a little bit of the glue overflow right here in the back end, so I will try to trim that up if I can. I'm sure it'll be easy, or I could just cover it up with black. It shouldn't really be a big deal. Ally do it right there. Got the bats behind that as well. And then this back bumper is just covered in bats, and it actually looks Pretty awesome. If I can get a good focus on here. Looks like it did shift it a little bit, but I mean, hey, it was a whole sheet. It was kind of hard to do that. So yeah, it was a little wonky on the back end, but, you know, just call it a Lionel error, but, you know, custom edition. So we got the Ally Do It Right. On the back, got the Valvoline, Camaro ZL1 1LE. I got the, which I think that's actually wrong. It's supposed to be ZL1 for the 2022 and 2023 cars. There's no pop rivets on the back. I don't think it came with that decal set. Or it was not a part of the decal set, but we do have the taillights, of course, the Chevy bow tie. HendrickCars.com do have the Ally Do It Right. I wish we had some more bats over here. That'd be pretty cool. And they got Ally, and they got the 48. I think this is supposed to be like lightning bolts, I believe. Of course, kind of adding to the Halloween theme of like a dark night, lightning bolts, bats everywhere, all spooky, scary. So I believe these are lightning bolts on the side here. We do have Alex Bowman in white and pink on the name banner there. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's there. This is how the Patos decals kind of printed out. Let's see. Let's see if we can read these. Chevy, I can see that. Can't tell what's underneath that. Cincinnati, Valvoline, and Exalta. That might be Freightliner underneath the... it's either Freightliner or Hendrick. I can't tell underneath the that bow tie on the B-post. So over here towards the front of the car, of course, we got the Goodyear tires, NASCAR Cup Series. Do have the Sunoco down there on the bottom. We do have this open grill right here on the front. So that is kind of cool how they have a little more like actual race detail, which is having an open grill. Versus just like your standard just grill design, I guess. Now, these decals are a little wonky. The Hendrick one's a little twisted, and so is the 48. But I think that's because I had it connected to these down here. So I think because of that, just the way I had to put them on, it was just kind of off, I guess. But either way, I could have fixed that, but I didn't. So no big deal. Again, it's for my personal collection. I'm not trying to have it perfect, just to have the scheme in my on my Bowman shelf. So that's pretty much it for this car. I mean, there is no undercarriage detail, obviously, because it's the Gen 7 car. So there is no exhaust or, you know, axles or anything else. I mean, obviously there is, but you just can't see it. But all around, I believe this car was not going to be made. Now, if it is made, then, you know, obviously I'll scrap this car and do something else. But I'm pretty sure it's been long enough to where it was canceled and it's just not going to be made at all. If I can probably look at the Diecast News, the official page on Instagram. I'll probably go back through there just to confirm and just to make sure that it was in fact canceled. And again, I think it is in all scales, all sizes, all shapes, colors, whatever. Just wasn't made. Of course, I could not let this car go without having at least some type of version of the car. But once again, even though this is technically Noah's ride, it will still look pretty nice up on the Bowman shelf. So with that being said, I do believe that will be all for this custom diecast review. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.